there, I'm so happy you're here. I'm Katie T from Katie T's Home, and today I'm going to walk you through the 7 essentials you need in order to achieve a charming and cozy back porch. So without further ado, let's jump in and I hope you enjoy. So first up on the list of the 7 charming back porch essentials to create a cozy and welcoming atmosphere on your outdoor porch is to have plants. Now, I sometimes kill my plants, not intentionally, but I'm not the best at keeping them alive, so don't take anything that I do as you should do this, because I'm still learning, and part of my problem is I kind of tend to wing things. So take that as you may, but having plants offer so many benefits. One of them being that they create a cozy atmosphere. I mean, there's just something so soothing and relaxing about having a fresh plant. The other part of it too is I wholeheartedly believe that having plants or a garden, we'll say, helps improve your overall health. I mean, there's a reason why documentaries like Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones discusses how gardening plays a role in longevity. So I think that's so important. Like, there's just on a like a deeper level, there's just got to be something there with having plants and how it helps balances our health as individuals. And not only that, but tending to plants allows us to do something besides being on our phones, which is something that I've been trying to get away from. I've been trying to read more to kind of counterbalance that, and gardening is one of those other things that is helpful because it gives me something to do. And right now, I'm repotting my fig tree and cleaning my jade plant and potting some vine hydrangeas, which I know need to be planted, and that is the objective soon. But right now, it's not going to happen. So I'm keeping it out on the porch for the time being, and then eventually I will plant them when that time comes. But I will say this, having any type of plant on your back porch or outdoor living space is definitely a must. Even if it's something as simple as veggie scraps. I have this decorative ladder, and I love it for the sake of it lends itself to having different types of vegetables or produce. Like, I've been starting different lemon and orange trees from seeds, and I've been growing them out here on the porch, or even just like the scallions that I have that's at the top of the painter's ladder. It's so helpful because it's conveniently located, compounded with I don't have to have the scallions in the house because I do not like the smell of the scallions. So overall, plants are just super helpful to have. Also, on a side note, if you want to know how I painted my painter's ladder or how I decorated it when it was in the house, because I did have it in the home at some point, then check out the links below. I will link them in the description. But yeah, so having plants, it's a definite must. It will help create your cozy atmosphere in your outdoor living space and really tie everything together. Next up on the list of the 7 charming outdoor patio porch essentials for a cozy outdoor living space is to have adequate lighting. Now, string lights are definitely the way to go. You could also do candles, but I will say this, there's just something about having string lights on the back porch. The one catch or thing to keep in mind is that they do get dusty, especially the longer that they're up. The way I combat this is I'm using this Makita tool that came in the kit that I had. But it seems to get the, most of it. So I'll put a link for that in the description below. Next up on the list of essentials for a charming back porch is to have it clean. I have this Shark vacuum that I love so much. I will be honest, my husband actually does most of the vacuuming in our household. He actually likes it, and I don't know how I got so lucky, but I did, and here we are. But at the time when we got married, he did a ton of research and saw that this vacuum was definitely worth it. Super good at doing what it's meant to do. I really have no complaints. And so right now I'm just trying to vacuum the pollen and the dust and debris that's been collecting on the porch, because it being outside, it definitely collects quite a bit. I will say this porch is older and it's seen some better days, so a lot of the paint is chipping, and there's just areas in desperate need of repair. But like many of you, I'm renting the space, so I'm kind of limited on the projects that I want to tackle on. But the workaround to kind of make it look less old, I guess, is to add fresh, clean, white items. This contrast kind of lends itself to creating a aesthetic that is more rustic and gives that modern cottage feel. The chip paint versus the nice clean white tablecloths. It really adds that little bit of cottage vibes to the decor. So if any of you are in a similar boat, that would be my recommendation, to add fresh, clean, white decor items to really get the chipped paint or whatever to kind of counterbalance the oldness of it, if you will. But just keeping up and keeping the porch clean is huge. And, the cushions especially, they tend to collect dust, especially the ones that don't get used. And I also kind of made a mess when I repotted a lot of my plants. So just not leaving that to be walked on is, huge. But I will say this, after the porch is clean, it's just so nice to be sitting out on the porch, whether it's first thing in the morning with a cup of coffee or in the evening with a glass of wine. I basically live out here. I really do, especially in the summertime. Keep your porch clean, and that will definitely add to the cozy feel. I also have an article on different cleaning essentials in general for the home, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. Next up on the list of 7 charming outdoor living space essentials for your back porch or patio is to have texture. And what I mean by that is items like a rug or cushions on seating or pillows. Anything that adds that soft texture will definitely influence the coziness of the porch as a whole. And the other benefit to having added texture is you can control the color that the texture is. So like, for example, this rug, which I'll put a link to it, I just got it on Amazon, it was pretty affordable, is nice because not only does it add that texture, the cozy feel of just having something there like a rug, it also breaks up the color of the porch because the porch is a brighter color, and it counterbalances the overall look when you first, or even if you stare at the porch. It definitely brightens it up instead of having that reddish paint color. So that's, another added benefit to adding texture. But adding texture will definitely just give you that cozy feeling. I mean, really, when you think about it, would you rather sit on a chair that has a cushion, or would you rather sit on a chair that doesn't have a cushion? And the reason is because the cushion is enticing. Like, you want to sit in it because it's cozy. You just naturally know. So adding cushions, pillows, rugs, any of those will do the trick, and that will definitely make your porch feel cozy. Next up on the list of the 7 essentials for a charming outdoor living space is to have a cute and rustic entryway. Now, I go into more detail on how to achieve this in the tutorial below. I did it a while back, so it looks a little different, and I've also done seasonal ones, which is always fun, especially during the fall time. But essentially, the basics that you would need is a rug, a mat, and some type of planters or greenery next to it. My biggest recommendation, if you do this, is to have a non-slip mat underneath the rug, and that's because these rugs can be slippery, and I've almost face planted. I've had people over that have also been in the same boat, and you just don't want people falling. So definitely get a non-slip rubber mat to put underneath. I got mine on Amazon, so I'll put a link in the description below. But having a inviting entryway just adds to the overall charm and coziness of the porch, because it is inviting. And you know, if it was just the door alone, it would look a little sad. Like it's seen better days. So just adding that little bit of modern, rustic, cottage decor elements to it definitely brings that feminine touch and inviting feeling in the overall porch aesthetic. So next up on the list is to have music readily available. And I have to say, my Pepe, who built this house, was definitely ahead of his time, because he actually put in or had built-in speakers into the porch. And I just think that's so cool. I'm not gonna lie, we don't really use it because it is easier just to use my portable speaker. But regardless, having music readily available in the event that you have people over, like recently I just had a paint and sip with my friends, and it was nice. The music in the background definitely added that little extra touch of charm and coziness that was much needed. So last but not least, having adequate seating. And I can't begin to tell you how huge this is. I mean, this lounge chair is where I primarily like to sit, and I do just that. I lounge on it, and it's so cozy and nice. And I think there's a lot to be learned about that. And I think that's what you need to keep in mind if you're on the lookout for different patio sets, is how you sit in them. And we'll take, for example, those gorgeous wicker sofas and couches. And, you know, I'm coming from a perspective where I don't have one, and I do want to have one eventually. But I will say this, when I, you know, eventually make that purchase, I'm going to miss this lounge chair, because I can lay back, kind of like the difference between having a beach chair versus a camping chair, or a Adirondack chair versus just a normal chair. There's just something so cozy about being able to sit back and relax. So I guess for all of you, if you're looking for different patio sets, I would keep that in mind. If how you're going to be using the furniture, you know, are you going to be lounging, or is it going to be more of a sit down and just wrap up kind of thing? Both are super cozy, don't get me wrong, but my personal preference is definitely to be able to relax a little bit more. But that's it. That's a wrap. And I hope that you got something out of all of this. I really hope that you can make your porch or patio or outdoor living space as cozy and charming as you possibly can. I would love to hear from you. Please put in the comments your thoughts and feelings and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.